The Los Angeles Dodgers were left in absolute shock after what unfolded during and after their game against the Colorado Rockies. Shohei Ohtani, the biggest star in baseball today, became the center of a disturbing and deeply troubling incident that has now sent shockwaves throughout the entire MLB. Multiple Rockies players were involved in a series of dangerous hit-by-pitch moments targeting Ohtani, and now the situation has escalated far beyond the baseball field. Ohtani himself has officially filed a formal complaint with Major League Baseball, and the entire sports world is watching closely to see what happens next. What was supposed to be a regular season game quickly turned into one of the most talked about and controversial moments of the entire 2025 MLB season. Nobody could have predicted that a game between the Dodgers and the Rockies would end with this level of chaos, tension, and outrage. How did this all start? What exactly happened on the field? And why did Ohtani feel the need to take this matter directly to MLB officials? The answers to these questions have left fans, players, and analysts completely stunned. When the Dodgers and the Rockies stepped onto the field, everything appeared to be a normal competitive game between two teams. The atmosphere was tense but professional, as expected from any MLB matchup. However, things began to change very quickly once Ohtani stepped into the batter's box for the first time. The first incident appeared to catch everyone off guard. A pitch came in high and tight, striking Ohtani directly on the arm. The stadium immediately fell silent as Ohtani winced in pain and slowly made his way to first base. Manager Dave Roberts watched from the dugout with a serious expression, and many players exchanged concerned glances with one another. At first, most people were willing to give the Rockies pitcher the benefit of the doubt. In baseball, hit-by-pitch incidents are not always intentional, and players on both sides understand that pitchers sometimes lose control. However, what happened next changed everything completely. As the game progressed, Ohtani came to the plate again, and once more, a pitch came dangerously close to his body, this time striking him on the lower back. The crowd erupted in anger, and the Dodgers dugout visibly reacted with frustration and disbelief. Freeman, standing near the dugout, was seen shaking his head slowly. Several Dodgers players stepped forward toward the edge of the dugout, and the tension in the stadium reached an entirely new level. Reporters sitting in the press area immediately began reaching for their phones, sensing that something far more serious than a simple baseball game was unfolding right in front of their eyes. By the time the third incident occurred, it was clear to everyone watching that this was no longer an accident. Another Rockies pitcher entered the game and wasted little time before sending a fastball directly toward Ohtani once again. This time, the ball struck Ohtani on the shoulder with significant force, causing him to drop to one knee in visible pain. The entire Dodgers dugout erupted instantly. Players rushed to the front of the dugout, coaches stormed onto the field, and the home plate umpire immediately stepped in to prevent the situation from escalating further. Manager Dave Roberts could no longer stay calm. He charged out of the dugout with fire in his eyes and confronted the umpiring crew directly. Roberts made it absolutely clear to the officials that what was happening was not acceptable and demanded that immediate action be taken. The benches were warned, but many Dodgers players and coaches felt that warnings were simply not enough given what Ohtani had already been forced to endure throughout the game. Mookie Betts later revealed to reporters that the atmosphere in the Dodgers dugout during those moments was one of the most intense he had ever experienced in his entire career. He said that every single player on the team was furious and deeply concerned about Ohtani's health and safety. Betts admitted that it took everything in his power to stay composed and not allow the situation to spiral completely out of control. He said that the team was united in their anger but also understood that losing their composure would only make things worse for Ohtani and for the Dodgers as a whole. After the game, the Dodgers clubhouse was filled with a tense and heavy atmosphere that was unlike anything the players had experienced in recent memory. Players sat quietly, their faces reflecting a mixture of anger, concern, and disbelief. The question on everyone's mind was simple. How could this happen to Shohei Ohtani, one of the most respected and beloved players in the history of the sport? Freddie Freeman was the first to address reporters after the game and did not hold back his emotions. Freeman said that what happened on the field today was completely unacceptable and that no player in Major League Baseball should ever have to go through what Ohtani experienced. He made it clear that the entire Dodgers organization stands fully behind Ohtani and that they will do whatever it takes to ensure that justice is served. Freeman said that Ohtani is not just a teammate. He is a brother, and the team will always protect their own. Manager Dave Roberts then stepped in front of the cameras and delivered a composed but firm statement that made it clear the Dodgers were not going to let this matter go quietly. Roberts confirmed that the organization had already begun the process of documenting every single incident that occurred during the game and that they were fully prepared to present this information to MLB officials. He said that protecting the health and safety of every player in the league must always be the highest priority, and that what happened today represented a serious failure to uphold that standard. Perhaps the most significant development of the entire situation came when it was confirmed that Shohei Ohtani himself had taken the extraordinary step of filing a formal complaint directly with Major League Baseball. This was not a decision made lightly. Sources close to Ohtani revealed that the Japanese superstar spent considerable time after the game discussing the matter with team officials, his personal representatives, and legal advisors before making his final decision. According to those close to the situation, Ohtani was not only concerned about his own physical well-being but was also deeply troubled by the message that allowing such incidents to go unaddressed would send to the rest of the league. He felt a responsibility not only to himself but to every other player in Major League Baseball who could one day find themselves in a similar situation. His complaint to MLB officials was detailed, thorough, and accompanied by video evidence of all 3 hit-by-pitch incidents from the game. Sources say that MLB officials received the complaint and have already begun a formal review of the incidents. The league is expected to conduct a thorough investigation and is considering a range of potential disciplinary actions against the Rockies players and pitching staff involved. The results of this investigation are expected to be announced within the coming days, and the entire baseball world is watching closely. The reaction from across the baseball community has been swift and overwhelming. Former players, analysts, and fans from every corner of the sport have spoken out in support of Ohtani and condemned what happened during the game. Social media exploded with messages of outrage and solidarity, with Ohtani's name trending at the very top of every major platform within hours of the final out being recorded. Several current MLB players also broke their silence and publicly expressed their support for Ohtani, calling for swift and decisive action from the league. Many argued that the incidents were not only dangerous but represented a disturbing pattern of behavior that cannot be allowed to continue. The conversation quickly grew beyond just this one game and sparked a much larger discussion about player safety and accountability within Major League Baseball. Bet summed up the feelings of the entire Dodgers roster when he said that Shohei Ohtani is the kind of player who makes everyone around him better, both on and off the field. He said that Ohtani handles every challenge with grace and professionalism, and that filing this complaint was yet another example of his courage and his commitment to making the game better for everyone who plays it. As of now, Ohtani is being evaluated by the Dodgers medical team, and his status for upcoming games remains uncertain. Manager Dave Roberts confirmed that the organization's top priority right now is making sure that Ohtani receives all the care and support he needs to fully recover. Roberts said that no game, no matter how important, is worth risking the long-term health of their most important player. The Dodgers and the entire baseball world are now waiting for Major League Baseball to respond. The pressure on the league to act firmly and send a clear message is immense. Whatever decision MLB makes in the coming days will be felt across the entire sport for a long time to come. Thank you for watching. Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. Subscribe to our channel for more interesting and up-to-date information.